We're all looking on the looks at.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Man.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode on the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. We have an amazing guest with us today, Jason Roselle. Jason, how you doing today?
Dude, fantastic, blessed, and living in gratitude.
Especially after that intro just coming in like that, right? I mean, you know this is going to be fire.
It's fire.
It's going to be caliente.
Es un calientito, papi. Woo! You guys Spanish too?
We are, yeah.
Mexicanos. No way, de España, papi.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
y mi abuela de Puerto Rico.
Ah.
So for you English Spanish audience, you better listen up. So your subtitles.
We got some Latin lovers in the house. Just kidding, guys.
We just watched the Mexico game today, and unfortunately they let us down. 0-3. They advanced though. They advanced.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They're campeones all the way, man.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, Jason, we like kicking off our podcast show by just something funny, like within your entrepreneurial journey. I know you're a hell of an entrepreneur. You've been through a lot of good stuff. So, what's a funny story that you can share with us?
I've had so many funny stories, but definitely like live audience, being on stage with Steve Harvey, like hundreds of men and women, and trying to do my Sexercise workout, and that man would legitimately take every workout move and turn it so sexual. I have this workout move called the V Crusher, right? It's where you put your hands together and you shift side to side to work on your obliques. This man takes my name title and says, "The V Crusher? That's what they used to call me. I crushed that V, baby." He's like, "Oh, hold on, my kids are looking right now." I said, "Oh, hell." He literally, this man had me in tears. Imagine a live audience is checking you out and they're looking, oh my God. So anyways, I can tell you the rest between the roller coaster and the I have one called the elevator. You can only imagine what he did, but that man had me in stitches and trying to sustain your composure and keep it chill.
Right.
Was impossible with Steve Harvey. Just saying.
I can imagine. No, he's hilarious. So
yeah.
That's pretty damn funny though.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So let's go back to when you were 21, because like Eric was talking about, you have a hell of a story. You've been through a lot. So take us back when you were 21, when you were feeling insecure, you were bullied, you were overweight. How did you feel at that moment, and how did you actually overcome that?
Well, 21, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was eating one of my go-tos. My parents used to get in a lot of fights all the time. So, when you're living in a family that's a bit abusive and they're verbal screaming, you kind of have to blank out sometimes. Mine was drinking alcohol and eating sweets. So my go-to every night after several cocktails, vodka with cranberries, all right, especially in early college days, I would just lock myself in the room and I would just eat myself to sleep every night to a bag of Oreos. That was my go-to. It was also outside issues. I was severely bullied, made fun of, because I was overweight, and also being, from 2 different countries. Being an American, and also a Spanish citizen from Spain, it was very hard for people to kind of like accept me for me, because they're trying to dictate, okay, well, he's blanco, he's white,
right,
but he speaks perfect Spanish, and then he's good looking, but I was a fat good looking kid and I was a goofy one. So the thugs didn't accept me, the jocks didn't accept me. So what did that make me? An outcast that unfortunately got picked on all the time.
Right. Gotcha.
So obviously between that and of course taking off my clothes and having to look at myself in the mirror and say, my biggest, weakest point was at, 225 pounds, size 40 waist. And I was having stretch marks all over my body, from my thighs to my inner arms, up to my belly button, my waist. It was depressing. So when you take all this psychologically, it gets to you, man. And I didn't have a support system. My parents were too busy working, and then actually they got separated in this process as well. So my go-to was alcohol and food.
That's how you comfort yourself.
Yeah, that's what became my best friends. They would always cheer me on, more. And ultimately, going back to, and sorry I skipped, but 21, around 3 o'clock in the morning, I was eating one of the last few Oreos in the bag. One dropped. Can't find it. Look left, look right. I put the switch on my bedroom because I was laying on my bed against the wall, and still couldn't find it. It ended up being on top of my fat stomach. That was like that really harsh reality moment where you're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. And that day I decided the next morning to, I threw away all the bags because I would buy 4 to 5 bags of Oreo cookies a week. That was like legitimate pantry. That's a staple that you must have. Who would think I'd be getting out Oreos? Right. Oreos, Nesquik, PBJ, you know, remember the ones that already come pre-made?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so imagine that. But imagine, like, eating 4 or 5 of those a night and think, oh, that was an appetizer. I'll save a little room, you know, maybe go outside, have another cocktail, and have the rest. This was my go-to. I started changing my life after that by eating differently, by training, and I did a lot of research. And of course my mom, which is my best friend still to this day, she invested a lot of money in trainers and nutritionists, and doctors would say, well, unfortunately Jason has a very slow thyroid. It was a lot of excuses.
Okay.
And I'm sure a lot of listeners right now listening saying, you know, we always find excuses, or someone will find an excuse. Well, you know, you would be better if you were X, Y, Z. You would be better if you were taller. You would be better if you were better looking. You notice the people who have the most advice to give, they don't even know what kind of advice to give themselves, right? But they're the first ones to point, right? So ultimately, after my mom spending thousands of dollars, doctors saying, Jason, unfortunately, is never going to be able to be thinner, to be X, Y, Z. I took matters in my own hands, and I started developing very short workouts for myself, and that include music. I love music. Music makes you thrive, makes you move, and gets you out of your head. Because the biggest issue, and that's why it stands for the name of my company, Mind Right, Body Tight, is because once you control your mind, the body follows.
It's huge.
Right?
That's why I always tell people, chase the six-pack in your brain, then chase the six-pack on the exterior.
Yeah, it's simple as that. But you tell that people listening right now, 90% of people out there saying, well, Dan, that's easier said than done. Right? And they can look at us right now judging and saying, well, he has a six-pack, he has a six-pack. Okay, but we all weren't blessed in different ways. We had to work for it.
Absolutely.
Right? So yes, after losing the weight and eating right, I did it mainly, I conquered my mind by controlling it and acknowledging my brain is my brain. I am Jason. A lot of people think your brain is you. And it's once you distinguish that you are not controlled by your thoughts, you control them. I always tell people, act as if this is your brain and it's a radio. And sometimes people suffer from anxiety, depression like I did. Shit, I still get anxiety sometimes. We all do, right? Yeah. But learn that it's okay. Learn and think of anxiety in your brain as a radio that blurs and just keeps on singing. Instead of focusing on, I gotta turn the volume off, let it dissipate on its own. Because just like anxiety, it's just like hearing a song. It's there in the moment and it'll go away. So I try to tell people, and you know, being a life coach, that fitness is only 1/4 of the wellness part. You can't focus on. It's like the same thing with relationships. Look, as a guy, I love sex, man. What girl doesn't love sex, right? But here's the thing. You can find someone you can have the best sex with, but if the rest is not in sync, it just doesn't mold right. To me, I always tell, this is my slogan, if a woman can't get into my head, she will never make it into my bed. Ironic enough, a very special woman that I have in my life right now, she got into my head, and she also got into my heart through friendship before anything developed. Because you can have the best looking person, best person in your life, but if they don't fulfill you and make you happy and make you a better person and pushes you, it ain't worth it.
Absolutely.
Who would think we would be talking about all these topics? We're getting
talking about a lot. They're all good topics, but I want to just kind of hone into on how you overcame that, right? The depression, the being bullied. So it sounded like your mom was a huge support, system for you.
Yes.
So where was your dad along the way when you were trying to just overcome this, and your mom was helping you, pay for all these different programs?
Sure. So at my lowest peak point, my father at this point, he took off to Spain. So my parents separated. And there was a lot of psychological issues going on in the house, meaning he was never physically laid a finger on me, but he was so, it's funny because he was a bodybuilder.
Okay.
So again, we talk about sometimes the people with the biggest muscles, or other things, they have to point the finger. So he would make fun of me, my mom, calling us fat, demeaning us, comparing me to my neighbors. I'm like, really? Why can't you be like this kid? Why can't you be like that kid? Who wants to grow up with a dad telling you
that's tough? You
don't want to spend time with them. So essentially, it's funny, my parents separated, and it was shortly after I started losing the weight. Now, the true full story, and I thank my father for this, if it wasn't for him or the bullies, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
So I pray and I say, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Lord, for letting me have these opportunities and learn from them. Because sometimes in life you either grow and become better than your ancestors, XYZ, or you become them and worse.
Oh yeah.
It's what you do with them. So what a lot of people don't know, before I became a television personality, a lifestyle wellness coach, a celebrity trainer, actor, you name it, is that yes, I was really overweight, but the key question is the depression. When you're depressed and having all these outside factors, it's not easy. When my father left me and my mom, my parents had a lot of money at one point. Me and my mom, we had to live in a welfare home for about 6 weeks. Mind you, before I was in a 7-8 bedroom house. Yeah, like really nice mini mansion. And then all of a sudden I'm living in shelter homes type things. And it was not cool. So what I do tell people, because you go through this anxiety, there is a way out through anxiety and depression, and the solution is you. You either do something about it and get yourself out of the head by staying busy and making goals, setting goals. You could be a gold digger, but you have to dig every day and become the person you want to become by setting those goals and achieve the goals, because that's how you become the winner, right? I had to quit high school. When my father, they were having issues, I had to work at McDonald's, Taco Bell twice, any and every fast food restaurant chain. And mind you, because there wasn't much food at home sometimes, because my father, even before we went to the shelter homes, he would hide food away from me because he was like, no, you're going to get fatter, and it was enticing me more. It's like telling a kid no.
Exactly.
I did whatever. So while working at fast food restaurants, I remember going in the back of Mickey D's and stealing in the freezer they have the apple pies. I would punch them, right? And this is me after smoking weed. I'm high. I don't care if I get fired and God knows what. So I would go in the back, pull out these frozen apple pies and just shove them in my throat, because they'd be like, Roselle. All right, no, they used to call me Weeble. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Roselle, Weeble, get in the back. And I remember I used to walk like this, but really and I'm like, oh shit. So I was like, fuck you. So I would go and I would grab as many Big Macs as I could in one of the bags. Between that and the apple pies, I would sit there for 5 minutes until they would come and be like, what are you doing? I'm like, literally, I would have the Mickey D's sauce all over the Thousand Island like a fat pig, and I'd be like, I don't get food at home. That was very rebellious too.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, hopefully that answers you guys' question.
I appreciate you sharing that, because I know how big of a subject bullying is. Even nowadays, it's still going on, and I swear people can get their life just so messed up by just bullying, and some parents don't see it. And it's I always tell people pull those kids out of school if they're getting bullied, because I think that it causes so much trauma going forward to some people. But for you, thank God, you use it as a blessing in disguise. And that's why I was going to ask, what was your what was a go-to tip for someone that's getting bullied right now? But you pretty much answered it, that it's it's your own mindset, and you have to just literally work at it every single day. So
yeah. And I was going to say too, I noticed that what hit home was, you said, you're an outcast, right? I know a lot of people are in that situation, trying to find their identity, them being an outcast. So I think it's awesome that you use that as like your fuel and created all these opportunities. So that's me getting to my next question. Like, how did you get into like all these major publications, you know, working with celebrities, getting on these reality shows?
Well, I started my years ago, so this is 2005. I did my first stint on TV. I did a few smaller ones on Discovery Channel, but I did a lot of short films, indie films in Florida, and I even did some soaps in Orlando, Florida. So I moved to LA with my ex-fiance at the time. Things didn't go well. And once I became fully single, I started, you know, trying out for different shows. I ended up getting a gig on Entourage on HBO.
Oh man,
so that was my first. That was season 3. My episode was Sorry Ari, and that was super cool because, you know, I had speaking lines with Rex.
We're gonna have to go back and watch that.
And then of course Ari. What's his Jeremy Piven.
Yeah,
so here's the kicker. So the show comes out, and around this period is when I got into reality TV, and I only had a few lines, but I made it in the episode. But because they changed, you know, editing so much, my lines got completely cut off. So my ego was so brought down. But I was blessed because I became SAG because of that show. You know, it was a big deal to have your first speaking lines with such, you know, and I just moved from Florida. In this process, this is when you go ask the questions, what do you do when you're feeling down or bullied or whatever? Take that energy and put it into something else, so, you know, you don't become the issue, right? There's an issue, but don't become it. See, our thoughts, we can think of all these nasty thoughts going through our mind a mile a minute. We have the choice of either, like, I love Tony Robbins, he says, where focus goes, energy flows. Right? Wherever you put that energy is going to get it. So I put my energy, that negative energy I had, I put it into start seeking for jobs. I found they were doing a casting for this huge reality show that I didn't know about at the time. And I kid you not, it's called I Love New York at the time, VH1. I did not plan on doing the show. I didn't even know who the girl was because they didn't give us the name of the title. Me and 19 other bachelors competed for her love. Yes, it was a make-believe show. I was not into her, but the point is, I went from not being a broke actor, simple broke actor, to being on billboards within 6 weeks after the show premiered. My life changed dramatically.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but man, like, I know you were mentioning that. That's so huge, right? Because like you're going almost from broke to like you know, rich, right?
Overnight.
Billboard overnight. So it's like, how did that like make you feel? You know, like, because I know I could see that being so easy for somebody just to get to their head and just be like, you know, just so over the top with everything,
especially at
a young age, so much fame so quick.
Early
so
20s.
How did you feel? Like, how did you deal with it?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my ego blew the hell up. I've always been a nice guy, but I turned up. You know what I mean? I got very in my head. I mean, you're legitimately any kind of fame you want. I was getting recognized by celebrities. Like, when you're at that point, you know, where you're at a nightclub and XYZ is like recognizing, you're like, okay, is this really happening? When you're getting paid thousands of dollars to show up at a nightclub just to take pictures with people, it was very bizarre for me because prior to that, I was living in a couch, and not even a few weeks, like I said, after the show premiered, having my own security, being able to travel. We traveled in 1 year, it was like 34 or 35 different states. Mind you, I was drunk half of the time. So that's a lot of the dark side that people don't see. You know, and I know a lot of it comes out now, you know, like right after us is when Jersey Shore came out. So, you know, a lot of the issues that you see other characters on TV go through, we went through them. I went through them, only you don't really see it on the shows. Because after I Love New York and me, again, flying in private jets, having the security, I mean, this is like night and day, being on every, you know, cheesy US daily magazines and all this stuff. I ended up doing more shows for VH1. The other ones, I Love Money 1, I Love Money 2, so we're going to compete for all these. I had the cast of Daisy of Love, Rock of Love, Flavor Flav. I mean, it was insanity at its finest, literally. I was supposed to get my own show, and we pitched it. Things were coming close to it. I don't want to get into full details here. Let's just say there was a murder that was publicized all over television. One of the characters from I Love Money 3 killed his wife. And unfortunately, let's just say all the dreams I had with the entertainment of VH1, MTV, that collapsed. I went through again major depression because I'm like used to making X types of lifestyle money, and I said, what can I do? And you're gonna. This is where literally it's where you know when you flip that chapter of the book and then you're like, oh my God, the sun's gleaming in my eyes.
Right.
I remember being in Florida and going through all my pictures when I was younger, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna speak the truth because people see me now as this good-looking fitness. I wasn't even doing fitness yet. This good-looking guy with a nice body. I exposed myself and showed all of my history of being overweight, and I tracked and I said, I'm gonna get in even better shape. So I did that, and within a few months, I started my company, Caliente Fitness, in 2010, which is a lifestyle wellness company helping people transform from the inside out. And I kid you not, being on the set of other shows, because they would interview me, I little by little started developing what I did, what helped me lose weight in the first place. 12-minute music-infused workouts using plyometrics to get in shape for people that are either really overweight or simply not in good health conditions. Because you can't tell someone that's 300 pounds or say 70 years old, because I have a lot of older clients, to do a 50-minute yoga, or sorry, a 50-minute Zumba class.
Yeah.
You just can't, they don't have it. So I like to build people up. So I started doing that, and then little by little, I actually developed one that really got me back in the map on television, which is Sexercise. Now
ask about that.
I did music in this process as well. I have a few singles, I have an album, right? And I said, you know what? Let me do, everybody loves music, everybody loves sex, and hopefully I can get people to work out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna release the Sexercise workout. So now this is a music single. And this music single is phenomenal. You can get it on iTunes, all music outlets. I said, that's not enough. Let's do a badass music workout video. Never been done. I said, let's do it. I knocked on every agent, every manager, and they turned me down. And not only turned me down, they laughed in my face. So, when you have people, again, pointing, right? They either point at you saying, you should change this and that, but they're the last ones to give advice to themselves. Or, this is how I really, it's called flipping the script. I remember asking this manager, I said, let me ask you a question. You're telling me this won't work, or I'm not good looking enough, tall enough, X, Y. What were you trying to be a few years ago before you're sitting behind this desk? Yeah. What were you trying to do? Oh, I did a couple magazines and da. So you were a failed actor? Yeah, and a failed model, and thank you for this opportunity, because you answered everything I need to know. That day, I went through all of my credit cards. I asked 2 of my friends for help. I took out $18,000 and I invested in myself, and I created the Sexercise music workout.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
That was
inspiring.
how I changed and was able to make lots of money. Got myself back in the map, nationally on every press outlet, television shows, globally, just Latin America, all over, Europe. But it gets better. It got the attention of Jillian Michaels.
Okay, yeah, she's huge.
Got the attention of the founder of TRX, Randy Hetrick. I was on a show 2 summers ago called Sweat Inc. And it was the search for America's next fitness phenomenon. And this show brought in the top fitness owners of different divisions. Mine was group fitness. I ended up becoming the winner of my group, right? And a finalist on the show. So it goes to show, don't fucking listen to anybody.
Yeah, that's huge.
Just listen to you, and if your brain starts talking crap to you, tell them to F off and chill out. Go to timeout. That's what I do. When my mind starts, I'm like, go to timeout. You know what I mean?
Just hanging around negative people. And I think too, which is huge, what is huge that you did was you took that leap of faith and you invested. You took out $18,000, and so many people are so afraid to do that, right? Because they don't believe in themselves. They don't understand that the ROI might not be there in the next year. It might not be there just right away. But it's like, if you have that vision, if you really believe in yourself that you can go serve people and make a difference in the world and change lives, then who cares? Just try it out. It's like, that's the worst thing you can do is have that itch and never scratch it in life.
Right.
Sucks.
What's the worst that can happen? Yeah, you could be out of money, this and that, but it's worse living in regret.
Right. Exactly.
Right? And a lot of times I've dealt with that, and whether it's dating pool, fitness pool, business pool, you gotta give it all you got and find your happy self.
Yep.
Right? A lot of times people come to me, oh, Jason, I wanna look better, I wanna do this, I want you to coach me. I'm like, let me ask you a question, are you happy? Are you happy? A lot of times they say, yeah, I don't wanna work with you. Why would I wanna work with you? You're happy. Yeah, but it's just this little roll right here. Guess what? Are you going to change the way you eat Parmesan cheese fries on Friday nights with your husband? No? Then don't fucking work with me. I envy you. Because me, unfortunately, I have to work my ass off because I love to look good naked and I love to wear my suits fitted. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people, that's not a necessity, right? That's why I love your brand. Why? Because you don't have to, just like me. Yes, we all know we got great bodies, and it feels so good to say that. Doesn't it feel good? I got great body, I got a little vaccine, you know what I'm saying?
We work hard.
We work hard, right? But you deserve it because you work hard and you work at it.
Yeah. Working
hard. People forget the word hard work hard. Like, do you think like sex? A lot of people, they may be having sex, but are they really that? They're not working hard enough, right?
That's such a great point.
It's so true, right?
And obviously this episode is for over 50. So,
we don't have
I should have given the alert here.
We keep it real and raw. I love it.
So just really quick, I mean, I know we were talking about this beforehand about like just how so many coaches out there today, just like they're such good marketers, they're such good salesmen, they perceive themselves to be so good, which is not true. So as a coach, how do you inspire clients just mentally to really buy into themselves, most importantly, and just buy into you as well too, to help them out?
I think most importantly is we all like and need mentors in different levels, right? I have mine, we all have them, but guess what? I say we all, but a lot of people don't. They rely on themselves, right? Some people don't have anything to believe in, right? Some people don't believe in God, or some people don't believe in certain things, and I respect everybody, right? But you have to have someone to look up to, and also someone to guide. So it feels really good. Like I work with children sometimes. It feels so good to give back.
Absolutely.
Right? It just feels so good to like be like, hey, like try this move or whatever, right? But when people want to work with me, what really gets them to work with me is simply knowing I am me. And if I light up a fire inside of you that you want to have and bring into your own life, that's all I can do. Because 99% of the things that I speak on, that I teach on, anyone can look it up on the internet.
Right.
The difference is who is expressing that, right? It's like, sure, I coined the term sexercise and I am known as also a sexpert. Now, has the term been used before? Yes, many times. But what did people remember of it? Not much.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, let's exercise. Sure, you can go on YouPorn and type it in right now. But guess what? You're also going to find Jason Roselle. You know what I'm saying? You might be looking for a little XXX film of me, but you ain't gonna find it. You're gonna find my workout music video. And for only $9.95, you're gonna get the DVD. Right? So you see what I'm saying? Like, look, the reason I've stood out in different parts of my life, and I think how it all ties in, is you can just be yourself. And if things have worked for, say that you can reinvent the wheel, you can reinvent the wheel, but make sure it's so effing creative that nobody can really tailgate you at the end of it. Right? Because, just like when you see all these infomercials on television, like I always say, Mom, I wish I had the money of the damn pillow guy. Go 1-800 buy pillow. Hey, I'm Phil from My Pillow. Think about it. He invested so much money in these commercials, right?
Yeah.
People are buying into it.
Absolutely.
I went to that damn Rite Aid the other day. I put my head in that pillow. I said, oh, hell no. I said, this is what people are buying. So he found a good price point. He spent the money on ad dollars. And he said, I want to be the rep of this, right? We could all, look, at the end of the day, whether we're, back to your question on coaches,
Chris and I are very fascinated by people's day-to-day routines.
Yeah.
So walk us through a day in the life of Jason Roselle. What do you do from the morning to the night? What's like a wind down routine you do? Just give us all the details.
Break it down. Yeah. All right. So I always say, today is my day. Today I'm blessed. I fill myself up with affirmations off the heap.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? I do a little do it with me. I'm beautiful. Go ahead, say one. It feels good.
I'm beautiful. I am enough.
I'm a badass.
I'm a badass. I kick Chris's ass.
I like your style. See what I'm saying? Sometimes it just makes us laugh. And sometimes we gotta look, or my next phase, I like to go in the mirror and shake my booty.
Okay.
Right? You gotta go in there and just be like, damn, looking good, feeling good, feeling good. Now, if I'm shirtless and say that weekend I ate too many pizza pies, because I love pizza with ranch, I'll be like, tell me wubby, I gotta go and work it out. But again, I take positive or negative and fuel that. I put it in my tank, so I'm like, okay, I ate a little extra.
Yeah.
My size 30 pants are a little tighter, they're like a 31, 32 now. Okay, let me go and work it out. So I start my day by, I like to sing, I like to do simple motivation and meditation with affirmations. Do a little, I love music. It's something that, you know, and I'm not saying this because I'm also a musician and plug in my music, of course. But seriously, it gets me out of my head, and I highly recommend everybody to really, when you're doing things, or even when you're on the computer, have it in the background, because it just keeps my flow. It just keeps kind of like the gasoline in my tank that just keeps on flowing. My routine, I usually do a 30-minute cardio running outside or a plyometric workout. Kind of like my several workout DVDs I have, which are all digital download and available on jasonrosell.com.
Yeah.
So here's after I do that, I love to eat, 3 eggs, over easy. I like to grab a little piece of wheat bread, dunk that son of a bitch right in there, and then just put it in a glass of OJ. And you're saying, well, damn, that's not the health piece, but I'm like, well, it's not that either. Now, the reason why I like to eat, like that is because I believe in balance.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't like to count calories. I don't like to become compulsive, because then the fun is out of the system. What keeps me in good shape, and part of my routine daily, is eating every 3 hours.
Okay.
So after I eat that, 3 hours later, I'll have a snack, whether it's like an apple and 10 almonds, some grapefruit, keep it up. Then at lunch, I always eat a carb, a protein, veggie, snack, same thing, a fruit or half a protein bar. Dinner, same as everything, as lunch, minus I try to stay away from carbs unless I worked out really hard that day.
Gotcha.
I have a sweet tooth still to this day. So instead of eating the whole bag of Oreo cookies that has probably 3,000 calories, I get the 100 calorie Oreo chips.
Nice.
With 30 calorie, almond milk. And I delicately dip it into my little cup, and I eat it while I watch The Facts of Life. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are probably too young to remember that. But Facts of Life was a show in the 80s. But no, I love watching reruns of The King of Queens or Seinfeld. Seinfeld was one of my favorite shows. I love comedy and a daily routine laugh, man. And you know why? Sometimes we're so effing serious. All right, so today's show, we're going to give you a little breakdown on how to get the best obliques. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's great, but let's laugh.
Yeah,
let's live.
Fun with it.
Yeah, like I always say, when I'm underground and not in this world anymore. I just, instead of people getting sad, but just smile and think of all the fun times we had, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes life beautiful. Laugh and enjoy every moment, man. Guys, stop being so serious, because life could end in the blink of an eye, and we're here right now. And you look, preaching to the choir, I stress a lot about money.
Yeah,
okay. And sometimes I'm like, okay, how much should I put away each month for vacation or this and that? And then I'm always like in fear. I'm like, well, what if next month is a bad month? If we live in fear, we're never going to do anything. So I made myself a promise 2 to 3 times a year, no matter if it's out of the state or in a different country, I'm going to go on vacation some way, somehow. And that's it. Because if not, I'm always going to be full of excuses.
Yeah.
And we're only going to thank or blame ourselves in the end.
Yeah, and there's always something that's going to come up in life.
Always!
Something.
And do you ever notice things go really good one month, and then you get that one bill?
Oh, man.
You're like, really? Really? I got that bill, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So let's say one morning, before you cook those eggs, you get an email from Mark Zuckerberg, and he says, Jason, I love what you're doing. He goes, I'm going to grant you a 1-minute viral Instagram video. It's going to reach billions of people, and it's going to be on there for 7 full days. What would that 1-minute viral video be about, and why?
The video would be simply 2 words: don't quit.
Don't quit.
And it would be simply kind of like what we've talked about today. It's right when you feel like this is it, I have to just give up, it's blessings come, right? Mm-hmm. And just live life with gratitude and know your purpose. Many years ago, I didn't know my purpose. And I can wake up every day and know that I'm here to make people smile, believe in themselves, and most importantly, not quit. That's why I would title it, Don't Quit, you know? And a lot of people say, well, what is your dreams next? I mean, I'm a book author. I've done so many things with my life. I would love to have a really cool, kind of like, you ever seen the show Modern Family?
Yeah.
Kind of like my own series on Netflix where it talks a little bit about, it's funny, but it talks about real life shit, you know, where you can really relate. And there's always like a takeaway you can take from it, right? Whether it's in fitness, whether it's in finance, whether it's real, like whatever someone is like dealing with, you know, I would probably send out millions of emails to be like, what are the topics? What are you really dealing with? And make it kind of viral to the sense of like, people are chiming in.
Yeah.
So we do this based on the world. What does the world need? What does they want? But obviously with my humor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be it.
Love it. It's awesome. Love it. It's powerful.
So this is something that Chris and I, we ask a lot of our guests this question. It just, a lot of guests get kind of thrown off by it, but it's really good. It makes you think. So let's say you were leaving the planet for 10 years. Just for some odd reason, you just had to leave the planet, and you could only write a paragraph to your mom. Mm-hmm. What would that last paragraph be? You're coming back though.
What do you mean?
You're coming back in 10 years. Forgot to add that point in. So you're leaving for 10 years.
I'm leaving for, okay.
Yeah,
easy.
That's butchering the question.
Easy. Okay, here we go. You ready? All right, Mama, te quiero. Mom, I love you. Thank you for bringing up a lion. And I got some good news. I know you're going to be sad because you won't see me for the next 10 years. But when I come back, not only will you be looking and feeling better than you ever have, but I'm going to give you things that you never thought of. And it's not financial, and it's not fame. It's a son that you can look at and say, wow, I raised this gentleman, and he is a fucking badass.
Wow. Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Ooh, I'd say drop the mic, man. I love that though. Appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, Jason, I mean, you've had so much success, man. You've had, you know, obviously, like, you know, a lot of ups and downs as well too.
Yeah,
you still have so much left in the tank per se. You know, going forward with so much, you know, to look forward to. What would you say is currently missing in your life right now, though?
Currently missing in my life, I would say, is more awareness.
Okay.
I don't feel enough of the world knows of me.
Gotcha.
Because I think, just like anything, you know, we're talking about it before this interview, you gotta pay to play, right?
Get yourself out there.
And you know, no matter how good our content is nowadays, you know, we're being forced in the society now to really pay for ads. And you know, of course, if I was a multimillionaire, I would be spending more on ads. But I don't want to force people to like me. I want things to happen organically. Yes, sometimes, you know, I feel like, oh, if I did another TV show, and I get offered a lot of reality TV and this and that, and I turn it down because then you become desperate. It's kind of like you've been, say, single for a long time and you get these opportunities, but you know, yeah, we're just gonna have sex, and after that, I'm probably gonna be rushing to put my pants on. If I can't have the full package, meaning I want more awareness, so people are really thriving in a way that it can add value to their life and really look forward to like learning more, you know. And that's what I feel is missing, because I have every other key component out there, and I'm very passionate, but I feel more people need to be more aware, and definitely wouldn't help to have like 5 assistants.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I think that's awesome, because Eric and I can both relate to that. Because we were talking about that earlier, about awareness and stuff like that. So I think that's awesome, man. And what people don't know is Jason doesn't have a podcast yet, but we're going to actually help him out with the podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, that podcast is going to definitely spread some awareness.
Yeah.
It'd be great doing a podcast.
Yeah, man, thank you. I was telling him before the interview, I've been asked many times for the past couple of years, you know, why don't you take this offline in different ways? I'm like, what do you mean offline? They're like, look, Jason, a lot of people don't have time to watch video, right? As good looking as we are, okay, we're plugging it, right? right? So, you know, people are driving.
Yep.
You want to have an answer for everything, right? Literally, like I remember my Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach, he always told me, he's like, you know what's so awesome about this sport? I was like, what? He's like, I'm going to give you the answer to everything. How cool is that when someone like does something, you're like, okay, well, they give you excuses, right? Where in jiu-jitsu it's fighting, right? They're going to throw punches and this and that.
Right.
Now with life, people that simply are afraid of commitment or fear of commitment, they're going to give you excuses. So if they say, oh, I don't watch TV, I don't watch on TV, Jason, okay, no problem. Watch me on YouTube, watch me on Facebook. Oh, no, I don't have time because then I have the kids. Okay, guess what? You have a phone? Yes. Go to iTunes right now and go to the Martinez twins, aka Caliente Fitness Jason Roselle. Get caliente, get functified, no fucking excuses.
Exactly.
That's it. We got it. It's just, but again, just because we were born and we have this inner drive that we transferred, we lit up that fire within us, and I see it in both your eyes. Not everybody has that or wants to have. There's a difference. People, and I'm saying this because I work with a lot of overweight people. And I can say I was a fat ass because I was a fat ass, right? But a lot of people that are really overweight, that are sitting at a dinner table that I'll hang out with sometimes, they're dripping sweat on top of that table and saying, no, I love being fat. They're lying.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I was one of those people and I accepted that my name was Weeble. I accepted that I was a depressed human being that was never going to grow an inch taller and this, that, right? The truth is, I was living my own lies, and a lot of times people get comfortable in their own lies.
Oh yeah.
You need to get out of that and say, you know what? If this guy can do it, and he's helped other people, just like the Martinez twins have helped other people, either you take the leap or get the fuck out of the building. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to that. You don't want to waste your time with the non-sayers. I'm not sure. Okay, don't waste my time. I swear to God, I wasn't always as positive. A few years back, I was more of the negative type, right? But now, knowing what I know, and getting to spread it with you guys in the world like you do with all your audience, how cool is it? And now when you feel that negative energy, you don't even feed into it. You're like, okay,
absolutely.
You want to be, okay, that glass is right there. You either stay there, or let's dump it out. Let's start fresh.
Exactly.
That's all it comes down to.
And that's true what you said about like how we shame ourselves and we accept it. And one of our mentors said too, Philip McCurney, said that we give ourselves what we feel we deserve.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
So Jason, what did you, when you were a kid, what did you want to be before anyone ever told you what to do with your life, become? What did you want to do as a kid? Because I feel like we all have that inner kid in us.
You guys may not be prepared for this, but or you might be too young, and I don't know how old the audience is here, but
they're old enough.
Let's see who remembers this. Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage live. WWF Revolution. Hulk Hogan on the dick. You see them going to the little pythons. You see that little gremlin right there. And the Ultimate Warrior came down, and he started rising. And I wanted to be that. Badass.
I know exactly what you're talking about. God, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So that was me. I was always an entertainer. As fat as I was, I would jump on top of the table and I would do the show with my belly. I would have my mom's lipstick all over my eyes. I would paint because we were too broke at the time to do anything more. So I would grab dirt from the ground and paint it, and I would become it. And that's what I wanted to be. Now I get to be an entertainer, but I get to help people, not just, go crazy, bro.
And not get body slammed and
exactly.
People. Yeah,
exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. We're gonna have to put this clip up on there. Jason, I'm gonna go a little deep on you and kind of throw you off on this, but let's say, man, that we had 1 million people in the room.
Yep.
And everybody had a fortune cookie, and they opened up that fortune cookie, and in maybe 1 to 2 sentences, you sit there and write that script of what you've learned the past 15 years, what would that 1 or 2 little script say in that fortune cookie about what you've learned?
Forever is right now. The moments we live and our future is what's happening right now. So make right now, I know it's fucking long ass fucking fortune cookies.
Okay.
Make what your future, let me rephrase this. Your future is what you do right now.
Okay.
Don't worry about the past. Make this present moment the best.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man,
That's it.
it's powerful.
Man.
Love
That's
that.
powerful.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So what's next for Jason Roselle?
We're gonna break it down, yeah. Yeah!
Chris and I are terrible singers, man.
Really?
We can't. We have no voice for
Let's see if
that.
you know what this is. On my way to see my friend, she lived a couple blocks away from me. As I walked through the subway, it must have been about 3:15. I met a girl on Monday, I took her for a drink on Tuesday. We were making love by Wednesday, and on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, chilled out
sounds good.
Sunday. Craig David, baby. Pisces, March 13th, that's my birthday. That's my boys in the UK, just giving a shout out. That was his song. But no, what's my next step? I'll be honest with you, I just sang. I love singing as well. I have a few singles that I have not released that I recorded a few years ago. I believe timing is everything. I believe that what I am doing right now in the near future is a podcast, being able to do a show, hopefully integrating your knowledge as well from the both of you, where I can have music, laughter, inspiration, fitness, food, fashion, and entertainment news all in one, and I will be singing my ass off and dancing my ass off while I do it. So that's what I really want, and I plan on doing it. You know, I'm a firm believer. Whatever we just do and say in the moment, we apply it, it comes true. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Don't speculate, just do it. So that's what's next for me. And more importantly, what I ask for, and I always say, ask the spirits above, and we said this before this recording, is I want to attract more people that are serious in life.
Yeah.
Serious in putting in the work and serious about celebrating. Because we can all work all we want, but if we don't have something to look forward to and celebrate,
Absolutely.
like I want to be able to work with someone and say, hey, guess what? We're going to put in this much work, but in September we're going to Barbados, we're going to jump on that fun yacht, we're going to laugh, we're going to giggle, and don't judge me, because if I eat pizza, smoke a cigar, and a beer all at one time, I'm going to do what I do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's me, man. That's just who I am, and a lot of times, you know, people get disappointed. They're saying, "Oh, well, you shouldn't eat burgers and this and that." Who said shouldn't? Just because I can and look a certain way, you don't know what the rest is. It's what they say: when you're working in the dark, nobody knows how hard you're working. But they're damn sure, again, so quick to judge what they see. I hate it when I'll go out. I don't drink much, but when I do, I'll have my drink or I'll have a smoke, and people are like, "Wait a minute, you're smoking a cigar right now? How dare you?
And you're a fitness guy.
How dare you?"
It's like a sin.
And are you really eating a ranch dip buffalo chicken tender with a slice of it's white bread? Jessica, he's eating white bread. How does he have those abs? Oh my God! F you, Jessica.
Exactly.
Have some fun. Eat some food.
Exactly. Love it.
Love y'all. Thank you so much.
So Jason, we're coming to the end of this podcast, man. This has been so much fun. It's been a blast.
It's probably been the most entertaining.
Yeah, and honestly, like going into this, we just barely met, so I didn't know, anything really about you personally. I looked you up and stuff, but man, I feel like today, like it's taking it to the whole other level. I see an amazing friendship going forward. I like how we're just very like-minded people. So I want to just take a moment to acknowledge you, just for your amazing story, for never giving up, for using that as a blessing in disguise, inspiring tons of people how you are now, for all the freaking amazing shit that you've done through your life that you're going to continue to do going forward. I mean, it's amazing. So I want to just commend you for that. And then I want to ask you, what does living a dynamic lifestyle mean to Jason Roselle?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dynamic lifestyle is honestly being healthy and being grateful every day. I keep on saying that, but I feel blessed every day. And a dynamic lifestyle is really counting every blessing and every issue. Because sometimes, whether it's, I go back to stories, but it's true, it's the only way I can relate. That's how I learned my stories, and I explain this. What is being grateful? What is being grateful for issues? You're saying, well, why? Why this? Or why did this happen to my family member, this and that? As long as we're learning from it and know that there's a reason behind that, say you may have not made that green light and you hit that red. It could be a number of reasons, right?
Yeah.
It could have been an accident. Well, why did my family member go to heaven so early?
Right.
Maybe he had to prepare you for other things that are going to be coming in your life. And it's all in how you take that. And if you embrace it and live gracefully, that to me is a dynamic life. Because let me tell you, some of the people that have the most money in the world are also the most miserable.
Oh, I know that.
So as much as we can all three sit here right now, all the thousands that are listening right now, saying, man, you know, I just wish this. I don't know if you remember this song, which I always make fun of too. I wish I was a little bit tall.
Yeah.
I wish I was a ball. I wish I had a girl who's good. I would call. I wish I had a rap, and right? You can wish, but make the best out of it and say, instead of wish, do something about it and apply it, right? When something bad happens or something good happens, knock on wood and say thank you. Well, I always say thank you, Jesus, thank you, Lord, thank you, yeah, yeah. My grandma that's in heaven, we call her yeah, yeah. And, you know, I always say thank you. When I get in an argument or say a business deal doesn't go right, I say thank you. Before, in my other days, I would say F you, right? Because I'm pissed. I'm using my ego. So I know how to separate the ego. Our ego wants to tell someone off when things don't go right, right? What do you get out of it? Nothing. You're feeding into it.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned so much this year, too, and I'll leave you guys with this, when I get we're going to get in arguments. That's the nature of life, right? It's normal. Even the best relationships get in arguments. We're probably going to get in arguments, but as long as we're productive about it, we're saying, oh, okay. Don't feed into that one issue if you know it's not going to get anywhere. Let it be, right? And don't react to things right away. Take a beat. Take a few moments to yourself. Because when we act on emotion, quote unquote, the ego, you're not going to get really what you want.
Yeah. That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's such a good point.
So I apply that science in relationships and in food. I may think this is a chocolate fudge sundae with like pecans and almonds on top. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty hungry right now. So organically, I'm saying, yeah, this is gonna be good. But usually what I do is I take a step away, I grab a glass of water, and I look in the mirror, I feel my stomach, and I'm like, is it worth it? Now, if that was a pizza with drizzled ranch and bacon on top, I would definitely eat it. Just saying. So see, that was me caving in.
I love it. I love the honesty and just being real about it.
Yeah, it's just real, man.
So Jason, where can our listeners follow you and your work and learn more about you?
Everything. It's Jason Roselle Live. So at Jason Roselle Live across all platforms. My website is jasonroselle.com. Now my fitness company, which is tied into my own website, is called Caliente Fitness. And that means hot fitness. And you know, I offer programs, workout videos, and life coaching for people of all ages. And I don't believe in excuses. I work with disabled people, paraplegic people, people up to the ages of 85, and kids, you name it. And if people want that injection, you know, and that's what I provide, like positive energy, and just forget the F and bull crap out there. Just, again, we all need a mentor.
Absolutely.
Find something that works for you. Just like when you have that song when you're at the gym that really clicks and you hit that replay, you're gonna find that person, right? Whether it's your mentor, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, that keeps you going. Sure, some days that song's gonna be like, okay, it's getting annoying. But then when you go back to it, you're like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller, right? So you're like, okay, cool. And we were talking about it, and I'm just giving a straight shout out. A lot of people compliment me and these guys because I've seen their, you know, their comments and like, oh my God, you guys dress so well. Let me tell you something. I saw these guys, and I kid you not, what are you guys, like 5'9"?
Yeah, 5'9".
All right. So I walk in, and I thought these guys were like 6'2", 6'3" on the photos, right? Same thing with me. I'm a shorter guy. I'm 5'6", right? I'm walking in. I'm like, damn, boy, short motherfucker, good looking motherfucker, right? But is it funny?
Oh man.
Men that are shorter, right?
Yeah.
That came for either poverty, depression. We always work harder.
Yeah.
That's why we always end up giving blessings, because we weren't born perfect, right?
Absolutely.
You know, like when I have my podcast, I'm going to interview these guys. I want to know the backstory, right?
Oh, yeah.
But no, sincerely, I want to thank both of you for an amazing interview.
It's been a blast. Thank you for coming on. So we'll have that linked up in the show notes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time. Jason, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Jason.
Thank you.